time I'm going to do a little tour of another cart that I have, and I call this one my business cart. I don't know why, but that's how it started, but it has evolved into something else. And then this cart I keep here in our little TV, and we hang out here all the time. We practically live out of this room, and that's where I chose to keep this cart. So let me put my camera down and I'll show you what I have in each tier, and I love this one. Okay friends, let's get started with the little tour of my let me move it back a little so you can see a little bit more of the color of my business cart. If you're new to my channel, welcome. My name is Marlene and I'm with Uniquely Ella everywhere, and underneath the video on the more, if you hit on the more tab, it opens up and it'll show you all my other links. My Etsy store, my digital store, my regular store, my Instagram. I'm on Instagram almost every day. I have 2 Instagrams I'm happy to announce. If you're into gardening, I have an Instagram just for gardening, and then I have my regular crafty Instagram. And basically my gardening Instagram is kind of like a journal for me, basically, but some real pretty pictures. So, and I'll be happy to answer any questions. So anyway, you have already seen the tour of my Rascot cards that are like my art cards, and this one I keep here, this card I keep here in our little TV room, like I said, and I wheel this thing next to the couch, next to where we watch TV. And this card started as my business card for my Etsy shop, and I'll show you. And I kept moving it and moving it and moving, you know, putting Etsy down and down, and Etsy's all the way at the bottom shelf. But anyway, it still served the purpose to keep me organized for my Etsy shop and my tax papers and everything, just so I can like work on my taxes a little bit every month, so that when tax season comes along, because I am an independent I've always worked my whole life as an independent contractor for like 30 years. So I know, I know what I need to do, and I know I'm kind of using the same format to keep tabs of all my expenses and everything. So I figure I'll have a cart just for that. So I kind of didn't want to invest like on another, the IKEA cards, because they're a little pricey. And then all the knockoff cards, all the other ones like, Hobby Lobby and Joann's are a lot less, but they're also not sturdy. The amount of paint and water products that I have in my art studio, in my art cards, this thing would not tolerate it. This is from Michael, and the reason I got it, and I love it, see how it's not, I don't want to say it's flimsy, but it's not as strong. It's because it's the rose gold, and I love it. I am setting up a little desk area. I already have the desk area. It's all farmhousey, real pretty, in my old laundry room. But I have a bunch of my old the room that's right before my art studio is the old mud room. So I'm going to set up that area with a little desk, a little writing desk, and a little like office, which I don't have for me. This is my office. So I'm setting up that farmhouse desk all in the rose tones. I have like this real pretty globe. I've been collecting a whole bunch of things. This really beautiful globe in pink. It's so pretty. So I figure a rose gold cart right next to that thing that I have going on would be perfect. And that's the reason why I got the rose gold. I just really got it for the color. But like I said, it's not as strong, but it serves the purpose for my tax, for me controlling my business, the business part of my Etsy shop. It really works for that well. So with that said, let's get started. In this cart, I always like to keep fresh flowers because it's in this room, and we're always in this room. I always have some fresh flowers under the TV, and which is right in front of us. And then over here on the side, I have some crepe myrtle and whatever's in season. Sometimes even if it's just greenery in the wintertime, if it's just greenery or pansies or anything, I like to have flowers in the house everywhere. I can sneak them in. But I have this little vase here, and the little vase that I have for here is like a milk glass vase now. And for some reason, I do spring and summer in milk glass, which I have a whole bunch of these little milk glass vases, and I change them all the time just for fun. Some are square, some are round, whatever, but just for fun. And then fall and winter, I have a glass vase. I don't know why I do that. I just do it. So that's the top of my cart. Now, these carts come with, you can add hooks and bins and anything you want to them. This one, I went ahead and I made my own topper, which was nothing more than, because I saw what a topper is, I'm like, I can make that. A cutting board, and then I put on the bottom of the cutting board, on the inside, not here, the cutting board hung out a little bit, but on the inside, on this side, on top, I put some washers. They were about this thick, so the cutting board wouldn't move. It would just stay there, and it worked. It really worked, and it was awesome. And that would be good to get a topper if you're like a stand-up crafter, if you do stuff standing up and you want this on the side. But if you do that, a topper would be good. But since I'm not in this room, I sit in the couch all the time in this room, I need it. It didn't work for me, so I got rid of the cutting board. It was just a 50-cent cutting board. I got rid of it. It didn't work. So I had this caddy. I said, you know what, I'm going to put this caddy on top, and it fits perfectly. This caddy I've had this forever. It used to be, and I love this little tag. This caddy was a beading caddy, and then it became something that I would take with me to crops. And I used it as a beading caddy for a long time, but of course I outgrew it. You know how it is. My beads, please, nothing fits in there anymore. So then I said, you know what, I'm going to keep this as like my business thing, my business where I keep my receipts and everything. And it worked like that for a long time, but as my business grew, and now I have 2 Etsy stores and 2 paperwork that I got to keep for 2 stores, and monthly statements and the whole thing. As I grew, my needs grew, and I needed more room for receipts and for postage receipts, for everything. I needed more room. So I outgrew this, but I like the concept of this, and I'm going to show you in a little while what's in it. So I got rid of the topper and put my little caddy, and it works perfectly. And what I love about this caddy, let me bring it a little bit up close so I can show you. I love it. It comes with these little, it came with these 6 little thingies, and I also have a couple of things in here because, I can't explain it, but down on the bottom, on the other shelves, you're going to see where I keep that's why I told you this has evolved, and it's no longer a business caddy. It's like a whole bunch of stuff. I keep on the bottom, I keep my planner, my happy planner, and I keep my this year and last year's garden journal. My garden journals are nothing more than a glorified notebook that I alter a little bit, made it all pretty, but it's just lined paper, and it's a great garden journal. So I keep them both. So the caddy has turned into a little bit of a journaling, planning thing. So that's why this is all mixed into like business and my journaling stuff. Here in the center area right here, I have all these little files and stuff, and here's where I dump. I just come in whenever I have a receipt. I literally throw my receipts in here. I have an area. Oh, I covered it with a paper clip. I just dump my receipts for the month in here. If I go to the post office, if I get a cleaner, if I get paper, if I get glue, whatever expense receipts that I have, whatever it is, a light bulb, whatever, I put it in here for the month. At the end of the month, I come, I take it, and I'll show you where I put it, and then this file is empty, and then I dump my receipts for the next month in the file. And that's the system that works for me. Later on, I go in the place where I dump all this, and I categorize my expenses by categories. It's a whole complex thing, but I like to do that every month so I don't have to go crazy at tax season time. I keep here a little notebook, and in this notebook I jot down, like maybe if I'm watching TV or something and I see like a little garden project I want to do, or like if I want to grab it real quick and make some notes, something that I saw that has to do with organizing or projects or garden project. This is more like a house type of thing. I keep that in here, and I do have little notes in here. And then I still keep stamps because sometimes I mail something. And then this caddy has little envelopes that go all the way around. It has a little slot back here, which is perfect because this slot you can add more things back there. All I have is like this gigantic jumbo, one of these clips. I just clip it back there in case I ever need it. I know it's back there. Sometimes I do need something big like that with my receipts as I'm working on them or whatever. Then on these little slots, this is more of the journaling thing. I think I've shown this before, and I keep refilling, and I do use these a lot. I have like little to-do lists, and then I've got weekly little task things, and I put these up with washi tape, which I think I gotta find, but I have it in here somewhere. I think they're in a little baggie. These do not have, these are not sticky like in the back, they're not. So if I want to make a note in my planner, but I don't want to make it permanent, and I don't like using pencil, I like using jelly pens, all kinds of jelly pens. For my planner and garden journal, it's all jelly pens. So if I want to make like a temporary note, I'll do it with this and a washi tape, and then I get rid of it when I did it or whatever. And that's what that's for. And then on this little slot, I have my favorite glasses because they're very light. So also what I keep back here sometimes is my tablet when it's charged. It's not charged now. So these I call like my tablet glasses because they're my reading glasses, but they weigh nothing and I love them. And then in this little slot, what do I have here? I think I have more like little to-do notes and things to remember. These are all, again, temporary notes. They go on my planner or garden journal with washi tape. They can easily be like removed. I have a little stapler. I love this little stapler. And then I have, what do I have? I have an eraser here, but I don't use pencils that much. And then I have more like, these are sticky notes. So these are like extra little sticky notes if I want something real quick, or if James is telling me something and I want to remember, I put it here. In this little slot, I have my favorite pens, which are these, and I have another one over on, I have another favorite pen, I think it's over here. But these are my favorite pens, and I have one white out, but I have another white out someplace else. I have like 2 white outs all the time because I don't want to run out of white outs. In this little Velcro thing, and then I added this little tassel, which I love. Can you see? I added that, and I made the little tag. Here I have another whiteout. That's like my emergency. I love whiteouts. And I know I'm old-fashioned. I have some of these really cute. Look how adorable. These are erasers, and they're like donut erasers. I gave some to my nieces. And one sharpener, but I have another one that's in this slot. Here I have my favorite pens. These are not my jelly pens. These are just regular normal people pen. You know, just regular pens with these. These are my 2 favorite. Sometimes I don't want to say I always use jelly pens in my journals. Not true. When I work with these little stickers, but they're not stickers, these little Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday little removable notes, I do use regular pens, but when I journal like forever, I use jelly pens. And then over here in this little slot, I have a little lip gloss that I love in case I get dry. I have more sticky pads. What are these? More sticky. I guess I got some on both sides. I have another eraser. Why I have another eraser here, I don't know, but I do. And then I have a mirror. I don't know why I have a mirror. I guess because I'm a girl and I have to have a mirror. So I have a mirror, a little mirror, in case, I don't know, my JMO says, we gotta go out. And I'm like, wait, let me look at myself, you know. So I have a mirror there. And then on this little slot, I have my scissors. This is my favorite pen. So that's why it's in a little area by itself. I have a stapler remover. I have another sharpener, but this one, of course, is pink. And then what do I have down here? I have, what is this? Oh, I have a Tombow, a little Tombow adhesive. Sometimes I may want to put a sticky note and it's not grabbing. I'll use a Tombow. So that's what this slot. My favorite pen goes back. Then when we come around this way, I already told you I have my little vase that doesn't go anywhere. Here on the sides, this is what I have. This I've had for a long time, and I love this little journal. It's basically just like a little notebook. I kind of altered it a little bit. I made a little tassel, and since it was like a Paris theme, let me show you how pretty that. I've had that for a long time, and this notebook is still, I still have plenty of room in this notebook, and this notebook helped me a lot when I moved here, because a lot of my projects that I wanted to do, measurements and things, I put in here, but I still have 2 areas for ongoing project. For example, remember I told you the desk in the laundry room? It's all in here, all the measurements and everything. Let me be right back. I'm gonna run out of batteries in 1 second. Okay, not sure how far I got in, because I always forget to look and I run out of batteries all the time. So what I was saying about this book, this is more like house stuff. This is like my project book that's not gardening related, my journal that's not gardening related. This one, and I made little tabs. Look how pretty. This is an old paper collection, and all my tabs are like this. And I got another one right here. See, they're all like tabs like that. So anyway, these 2 last tabs are not used. So that's, I started my designing space. We need to do flooring in that area. We need to do major stuff, and the washer and dryer have to be removed. It's a whole production just so I can get my little pink desk. All that for my little pink desk. My little farmhouse desk with a pink theme, pink and black theme. So anyway, like everything in life, the planning is almost the most fun. So I get to plan and dream in this book about my little projects that have to do with the house. And since this little old house is almost done being remodeled, I hope I never run out of things to do, but my next project that I'm working on in here is the old mudroom desk area that I'm doing for myself. That's what this book is about, and it always stays here because sometimes I get ideas watching TV and I'll just write it down. This is another little altar notebook that I made, and this one has to do with sewing projects, which I'm going to add to, I think I'm going to add this little notebook. I don't think I'm going to keep it here. I'm going to add it to my basket because this is like to do with sewing. I have another one that's to do with sewing too, but this one's larger than my other little sewing one, so I think I'm going to add this to my basket where I'm going to start keeping my new hobby, the embroidery challenging thing. So I think that's going to go on the embroidery area, but for now I'm keeping it here because I've written a couple of favorite YouTubers that have like tutorials on embroidery that I like real. And since this is the TV room and I'm always here, I keep it here. So now let's move on down to the second little shelf and I'll show you what that is all about. Okay, in the second little tier here, this is more, we get a little bit more into the business part of the cart. And here I have another little notebook, which I really like. And this is to keep notes on if I get any ideas on Etsy or anything that I can pick up a few ideas that has to do with my monthly, how I consolidate my little batches for the month. Remember the receipts that I told you that I keep up there? Once the month is over, they go in here. And these little baggies, I have to find like pretty envelopes, but for now I have these little baggies and they work for me. These little baggies are, but I have 12 of them for every month. And then all these receipts go in here and then I batch them up and then I total the batch, and then each batch goes into this, it's not a spreadsheet anymore because I printed them, but each of these categories go into, I'll show you in a little bit how I do it, but that's how I keep track of my Etsy shops, and that's how I keep track when I worked as an esthetician for 30 years, except for the time that I had my spa. But when I worked as an independent contractor, which I still was an independent contractor when I had my spa, I was very organized because I'm lazy when it comes to tax time. So anyway, this is the business part when it's done. When these receipts are finished, they go in here by category, and I do that once a month. In this basket, what I have is I have this little bag. I have my jelly pens in here, and like I said, my jelly pens and my favorite marker, which is pink. I have another marker that's my favorite, but these are all my jelly pens, and I love them, and they're all in here. I can just grab them. I also have some more jelly pens in my portable art bag. I have this little cup right here, and in this cup I keep more pens. Just a little, I like this. I don't like the big clunky ones. I like the little ones. So when I do my batches for my receipts, I use that. A couple of markers and a few more pens and a pencil, and everything goes in here. Back here I have another little pouch. I have two of these pouches. I have this one, and I have the one in my portable. These I have more chalk, more markers, just stuff like that, in case I want to do something else on my little journals, but I usually don't. So I keep that there. That kind of moves around. That might be the one, or is that one blue? I don't remember, but that looks familiar. Like I just have so many repetitive things, I'm not sure, but that's something that I would also use for my Bible journaling too. So that's what I keep on my second tier. Now for the last tier, I'll show you right away. Okay friends, finally let me show you what I have on my third tier right here. I have right on the top, I have this little really cute little basket. It's pink. I think I found that junking somewhere. And what I have in here is I have two little notebooks that I altered. This one I altered with the idea to use it for, I wanted to learn how to crochet at one point, but I never did. So this one I have not used. Look how cute. I made a little tassel. And this had like a little stand, but it broke because it's been all over the place. But I made a whole bunch of these. I made them bigger, smaller, and I gave them away. I made one for my mom, for everybody, but I kept a couple blank ones. And because I love keeping journals everywhere, so it's going to be kind of like an embroidery journal maybe. And then this one I made a whole bunch, but I kept this for me. This is from my favorite paper collection. This is from October Afternoon, and I love this little notebook. It's just a plain little notebook, nothing fancy, but I love this button, and I love her, and I love it. And every time I'm going to take a little note or write something, I don't because I love it. So I keep it in this little glitter bag. I have two of these bags. I keep one by my cooking planner thing that I never use because I don't cook. I don't like cooking. I like planning for cooking, but I don't cook. And I'm not ashamed of that. So I have one over there, and I have this one here. This one here, look how cute. This is a little eraser. Some of my favorite washies. A little scissor, like I have one over there, but I have one here. Some other washies. These are the washies that I use. And then some tabs. And these are the washies that I use when I want to do those, when I want to tag on those removable little papers that I show you the Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I use the washi because I can tear it off and throw it away. And I love this. The other one broke. It's a little broken, but this one's still good. I think I found this somewhere. I think Marshall's. I don't remember where. And then here I have, eventually my business stuff is down there, but we're not getting there yet. Here I have for my planner, what I do for my planner. This is my planner, which I'm not going to open up because it's private. This is my, I used to have this is a happy planner that I altered. You know, I put like a pretty thing in the front. And I liked it so much. I had a smaller one, and that didn't work for me. I had the super big happy planner, and that didn't work for me either. And I think this is the size that kind of works for me, kind of. But I love this paper so much that I think it's going to be the cover of all my happy planners. I think this, I don't know who this is from, or it could be one of the free printables. I'm not sure, but it is a printable. So my planners, how they work is that I have simplified my life and I've kept them real simple, my planners. I have everything in one planner. I used to have like a little financial planner, like a tiny little planner. I had like my garden planner, my garden journal. I had a planner just for the garden besides the journal. Now, no. Now everything is here. If I need to plant some seeds, whatever I need to do, if I need to go to the dentist, whatever, it's all in one planner, and I made my life a little easier because I really don't want to go digital. I like the whole opening up and planning and the whole thing. So what I do with my planners is that I'm like a few months ahead of time, and I have a few months that I really love, and I decorate my planner way in advance so that I don't have to have time. Like, for example, I'm in the fall mood already because I already did all my spreads for fall. My next spreads that I have to do in my planner are my Christmas spreads. So I have my little Christmas planner junky box here, and I do use a lot of, like I said, I have simplified my planner, but I still buy stickers, not too much, but I buy stickers for my planner, but I mainly use washi tapes. I have this little wire bag full of washi, and I bring that and I do all my washis first. You know, I divide the dates with washi and everything. And then I go into these little boxes that I have by season. And I have all kinds of little scrappy stuff. I don't know if you can see, but here, this is like my Christmas one. And some of these things are recyclable from other planners, but I like them. Like some of them are like things that I've used before, maybe 2-3 years ago, but I still like them. So I still might, you know, use them again. So this is mainly, I would say mainly Christmas, but it's not all Christmas. And then see, I have like little papers and little strips and little things that are already cut out, that I don't have to do any of this work, and this is already cut out, and all I can do is just sit there and just kind of decorate my planner, and that's so relaxing. And I do that while we're watching a movie or we're watching whatever. It's very relaxing. My glue is here, everything here. But the next spreads that I got to start working on are the Christmas spreads because I'm so ahead of my time. So that's what this is for my planner. Now these are my garden journals. I keep them here because I just need them near me. I keep these are again notebooks that I have altered. This one and this one. And I have a little tassel on this one. Can you see how cute? I keep my last year's, look at this, how cute. I keep, one is last year's gardening journal. This is my journal. And the other one is this year. And the reason I keep, because I keep them by date. So the reason I keep last year's because I want to compare. I particularly want to compare weather. If you're a gardener, that's all you worry about. So I want to, which is way off and real wacky this year, and it's just like nuts. So basically my journal, I just want to see like what, my journal, but I have another binder that's for gardening. That's another story. But anyway, this, I just keep track of what's out there when I planted my seeds, what germinated, what I felt that germinated well, what doesn't work here, anything to do with my garden, sometimes even my moods. I put in here, and I have a whole bunch of these from a long time ago, but I try to keep my, I try to get like 2 years out of one, which I can, because I don't, mainly my busiest time to journal in my garden journal is spring and probably maybe a little bit of fall, so I can get I can get like 2 years, maybe even 3 out of one of these notebooks. But I always refer to the year before again for that. Then I have this pretty notebook here. And then this notebook is like because I have to keep track of my mileage. My receipts have a lot to do with my mileage. Sometimes if I'm not really, like if I have a receipt that I went to the next town up, which is like 30 miles from here, and I don't remember right away to put it in my journal, I always have it here as a backup. So when I consolidate all these receipts, I gotta make sure that if I traveled for business anywhere that's outside my little town, or even in my little town. If I go to the post office, that's 3 miles, and if I go 5 times a week or 3 times a week or whatever, you know, I keep a mile log because I declare my miles, and this is what I use for my miles. And now this is the nitty-gritty stuff of my business. These are just kind of different forms that I came up with that works for me. For example, just all kinds of, see my mileage log. This is where I consolidate my numbers that go to the accountant. That goes to the, yeah, I'm the bookkeeper, she's the accountant. So this is how I have a form for everything. And I have to put all my numbers here, everything has to balance, blah, 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 and this is what I take to do my taxes, but I always keep it here as like references and stuff. And then here I keep receipts, more receipts in all these little folders. This is donation and stuff like that. So as I finish my receipts and I batch them up, when I'm kind of done, they go in those little envelopes, and that's what I go to the bookkeeper with. So to the accountant with. So I am done. So this is like my business card, and as you can see, I kept moving everything to the bottom, to the bottom, to the bottom. But it works. It works. These cards really work. So if you want a card that's not too expensive, but it's also not too, it's not that firm, but for something like this light, or even a little, you know, office on wheel, which is kind of what I have, I recommend these a lot. This one is from Michael and is the rose gold. So I hope I gave you a little private, this is like my little private area, but I hope I gave you a little insight on how I organized my business part of the whole thing. So I hope you enjoy my journals, guys. I mean my video. Thanks for watching, guys. God bless. Bye-bye.